All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Empire Under Siege. We are up to lucky number 13 now. I'm going to pass it over to Alan to give us a quick recap of last time's game, and then we'll get underway. Here we go. Pass it over to you, Alan.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan, and as usual, I'll be playing the Dashing Knights of Sherwood, Landon. A recap of last week's game finds the intrepid explorers on a ship sailing into the Sea of Traitors. However, we were uninvited by the mages who occupy this floating castle, and so they decided to send a little welcoming party. The scene started with Sir Sherwood just self-flagellating in the cabin, and some big, huge demon type creatures decided they wanted to take our ship. So while everyone else was running around like headless chickens scared, Sir Sherwood comes out and just basically, sees them off. Okay, but that's not enough. Then these huge rocks fall from the sky, and this wizard lands on the edge of the boat, and as soon as Sir Sherwood had finished dispatching these huge mer creatures, he then turned his attention to the wizard. Now, our bard was hiding behind a crate scribbling lyrics down for Sir Sherwood's latest feats. I remember the gnome Oleifr kind of just running at me almost frantically saying, "Save me, save me." And so Sir Sherwood started chopping hell out of this wizard who turned out to be a tree. Eventually, of course, Sir Sherwood wins, and just then, like those three rocks that had fell, they rose out of the water, and some more wizards actually appeared, and the action now finds us with Sir Sherwood about to teach them a lesson as well.
So I'm pretty sure that's exactly how I remember it too. Oleifr, would you agree with that assessment?
Yes, I was running panic.
That's how it went down. Oh, no, that's right. Sorry, Oleifr was disguised as a sign: buy one get one free on potions or something. That's how brave he was. These guys, if it wasn't for Sir Sherwood, they would have died a long time ago.
Well, lucky for them. Excellent, though. So to kind of get us going right exactly where we left off, and a quick reminder on that exact scene, you had these wizards who came up, these rocks that dropped out of the sky. The water started boiling at the end of your battle. These four rocks rise up out of the ocean, and on each of them, one in each of the cardinal directions, we have four wizards, one in black, one in orange, one in red, and one in green. The red one, who is the exact copy of the one that you just defeated, he's at the back of the ship. The black is at the front. The orange is at the port, or the left side. I'm pretty sure that's right. And the green is on the right, or the starboard side of the ship. At the exact end of the last episode, the one at the front of the ship now, in the black, had raised his hand. So the three of you, along with the rest of your crew, are standing there taking this new scene in as it unfolds. And the wizard at the front, you hear some kind of arcane mutterings coming from his mouth, and you see a ball of plasma just starts to form and rotate in his fist. As this ball starts getting larger and larger, reaches probably with the size, I want to say, of a big beach ball. You hear the voice of someone you haven't heard from in a while, and that's the tall harpy. Karen yells out, "It's him! It's him! That's the guy! That's the guy!" And she's pointing at the guy in the green robes on the starboard side of your boat.
So that's the guy who gave her all this stuff, probably. What's his name? Something with Bueker? Dave wrote it down, I remember. He talked about him all the time last time.
His name was Bernadette.
Certainly.
Sir Bernadette. Landon's long-lost brother-sister. I can't find it.
His name was Bunt. B-U-N-T.
I just got it. Bunt the Monk. What's Loxer Destinies?
Loxer is the name of the god.
Yep.
To give you a bit of reminder on that background, Bunt is the the basic form of the guys that you fought right near the beginning. When the town had been overrun with the undead soldiers, you went to the church, and it was him that you fought there. It was his hand and part of his arm that had been the kind of source of the sorcery.
Looking at this green-robed fellow now, does he appear to be missing any limbs?
He does not.
He's a clone warrior. Wrong word.
Okay.
Nor, if you take the moment to look at him, you'll notice that he does not have any missing limbs that you can tell, and he does not look anything like the Skelegolem that you guys had battled before.
Okay.
But the tall harpy is definitely pointing directly at him, saying, "That's the guy. That's the guy who came and met me."
So he's on the right-hand side of the ship.
Yeah.
Green-robed Bunt.
Okay.
And where was the dude with the plasma ball? Was he at the front?
He's at the bow, yeah. He's basically probably about 10 feet in front of Sherwood Landon.
Okay, well, so the one that the tall harpy's pointing at, saying, "Oh, it's him. He's the one." Right. So Sherwood will sheath his sword, across his back, and stride towards him, stopping, a good 10 feet shy, and he'll address him and say, "Explain yourself, heathen, in the name of the Emperor."
He kind of chuckles at your kind of calling. He's like, "The Emperor holds no sway here. Only the Council of Mages."
You're in the Empire, aren't you? Of course, the Empire has 100% control over all of his domain. Whether your home floats in the sky or not, you are still part of the Empire, like it or not. Now, I'll repeat, explain yourself.
You seem to be mistaken, Sir Knight. We, the Council of Mages, have seceded from the Empire. We do not recognize your authority.
Did the Emperor give you his blessing to accede from the Empire?
He chuckles and says, "I see you don't know your history very well. We took our secession from the Empire. Nothing was given."
Well, be careful I don't take it back. Now, for the last time, I'll say, explain yourself. What is with this welcome committee that you arranged?
He looks at the other mages around and he says, "Well, anyone who comes into our waters is subject to our laws. Since you were not invited, well, clearly there's only one thing to be done with you."
So Sherwood will chuckle back and say, "Your waters. Okay, so what are you doing here? What do you want with..." Well, actually, I'll leave it there, and I'll turn around to the singer. Singer, you'll have a more diplomatic tongue than I. I'm quick to take that.
The harpy kind of manages to labor herself up, as if you guys recall, she only has the one arm as well. And she says, "You're responsible for this. All of my crew are dead, my arm gone, my ship stolen because of you."
Is she pointing at me or the guy?
Yeah, no, that the green robe mage.
Yeah.
As this kind of conversation is happening here, you see that there's a bit of confusion on the faces of the other three mages, and the guy who has the plasma ball, it's starting to kind of recede as he's kind of listening out to what's being said.
As we do that one, Rufus will sort of just wave his hand, dismissing the curse on the novice wizard who was kind of unable to perform any actions at the front of the bow, and start walking towards the green road.
As you do that, it kind of solidifies into wood, splinters, and then the pieces fall into the ocean.
And Rufus, as he walks away and that thing crumbles behind, he says, "His bark was worse than his bite." Been saving that one. And,
nice.
So Sherwood will chuckle, approvingly.
Well done.
Yeah, Rufus would have noticed that there seems to be some kind of a little bit of confusion across the faces as the harpy identifies the green-robed man, and he'll say, walk up to the green-robed wizard and be like, We come not in war, not making threats, but of course we were uninvited. We've just been following evidence which has led us to your kingdom, evidence of foul play, dark magic, and treachery.
At your words to this, the man in the black robes, still kind of hovering there in front of your boat, kind of turns his head, looks at the orange robe guy, kind of looks around the mass at the red robe guy, and he says, "Collier, explain yourself." And the guy identified as Collier in the green robe says, "What explanation do I require? We have intruders. Let's just kill them and be on our way." And the harpy at this point stands up and go ahead.
Well, Rufus will sort of chime in and be like, "Collier, do you not answer to the name of Bunt?"
The
I have
cunt.
no idea what you're talking about.
Bunt the cunt. That's how we know him.
What about Bernadette? Do you deny any affiliation with the Shadow Monks?
Shadow. What need would a mage of my stature require with shadow monks?
Well, they certainly seem to know you.
And as you're saying this, you can see that there's... Actually, do a perception check for me, Dave.
Oh dear. It's a 12.
Okay, that's not bad. You can see that the other three mages, especially the man in the black robe, he's kind of... You can see there's kind of like a tightening of his jaw. And before you're able to make further comment, he raises his arms and kind of just snaps out, which is this quick kind of lightning thing. And it causes this massive ball of energy to surround everyone within it. The ship, the four mages, and basically everything is in this kind of... You're in kind of a sphere that goes above and under the boat as well. And he says, "None of us will be going anywhere until we get to the bottom of this. Collier, if what they say is true, you've broken our laws again. You were warned before. Dark magic is not a part of our kingdom."
Yes. Him out, guys. You all know he's cheating.
Let's see.
Like, are they still all just sort of floating above the water outside the ship, or are they coming closer?
Yeah, like basically everybody's at a cardinal point off the, like, one off the bow, one stern, one each side. They're about 10 feet from the edge of the railing, and they're all hovering on rocks that are probably 4 feet across, kind of flat topped, and then like almost like a plug of land. Kind of.
Cool. Rufus, well, who seems to be in charge here? If we're sort of, does anyone seem to be particularly commanding?
The black robed mage is definitely the oldest of the group. On a visual quick inspection, he has a good, huge, long beard, in a typical mage style, and he seems to be the only one that's spoken so far.
Okay, Rufus will say, like, it's a long and twisting story, filled with dark deeds and tragedy, which has brought us to this point. But the latest link has been the lady you see before you, and indicates tall harpy. My lady, if you would relate to them what you told us before.
You can see that even with her one arm, she still looks probably the most formidable since you've seen her, taken down a peg from you guys. And she's very livid, and she just kind of yells out, "He's the one that caused this. He's the one that delivered the packages to the captains. We met him on the island. His messenger. I know it was his messenger. The shade that he sent to us led us to the whale, and the whale to the island. I know it. We were there 2 days, and Bunt, he was the one that gave us the boxes."
Okay, so Sherwood will chime in with, like, well, explain the accusations that are leveled against you.
He chuckles, is still very confident, and says, "I have no idea what these fools are talking about."
Rufus will pipe up. Boxes filled with severed limbs, the power to animate a what's it called? Exoskeleton.
Skeleton, yeah.
Yeah, the power to create a skeleton was sent to a kingdom in a distant land.
Birdage.
Birditch, the fair city of Birditch, ransacked by an undead army, and headed by a necrotic exogolem, skeleton.
I know nothing. And as he says that, the wizard in the dark robe, he kind of floats his rock up. So he's kind of now like taken a higher position. Hasn't moved like left, right, or anything like that, but he's definitely come up so he can see a little better. And he says, I would like you to answer the knight's question. There are clearly some discrepancies here we need to discuss.
Yes.
And the green guy is like, well, Corin, you're going to believe these outsiders versus me? And Corin kind of raises a hand for silence and says, well, you do have a history, Collier. I do believe that you have forgotten one of our cardinal rules, which is all gods should be forgotten when you join the kingdom of mages. Your loyalty should be to the kingdom, not to one above, or in your case perhaps below.
So Sherwood will just slowly kind of reach behind him, like take out his sword, and then like he does, just plants it point down in the deck, and he's just kind of like drumming his fingers on the top of the hilt.
Oh, actually, I want to try level 2 spell. Don't know how it works though. Detect thoughts on Collier. But give me a moment. So I've got to look it up.
Yep.
Or you could just tell me what he's thinking. Just cut to the chase. Let's have a look.
He says, my, that's a dashing young... No.
Yeah. Ooh, the things I do. Get me out of bed. One action, self-concentration. 1 minute.
See, I've actually
says...
got a great spell that's called Zone of Truth, but I don't have it memorized. Will come in handy around about now.
Nice. Welcome to the Truth Zone, guys. We're all going to tell the truth now, okay?
I would like to use my Staff of Charming on Collier and tell him, use my command spell, and he has to save a wisdom saving throw, or he has to listen to my command.
Okay.
My
What's
command
your
would
DC?
be truth.
What's your DC on that?
Must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against my, I guess my...
It'll be your spell thing.
15.
15. Okay. And he fails quite miserably, even with a high wisdom. His wisdom is not plus 13.
Good for us.
So you say, tell the truth?
No, I can only say one word commands. So I just tell him truth. But yeah, it's a specialized command. So you as the DM have to decide how he behaves.
All right, I'll allow for. We'll see where this goes. And as you call truth, you can see that he starts like trying to talk, but words aren't coming out at first. He's like, and as he's kind of looking kind of silly there, standing there, you can see that he shakes himself for a second, and then he goes, and he kind of reverses himself and tries not to speak.
Yeah, as we were doing that, can I have also cast Detect Thoughts?
Sure.
At first level, I just get surface thoughts of the creature. what's most on its mind at that moment. And then to
All right.
get further information, he has to do a saving throw. But to start off, it's just his surface thoughts.
The surface thought you get is, I must get out of here.
Cool. Then if you do a wisdom saving throw, 30,
That's your spell thing.
14 for me.
Okay. All right, so he kind of may know that you're there or something, but basically his mental fortitude kind of cracks down here for a moment. He's able to prevent any further thoughts from slipping out.
And I would like to tell the other wizards, they clearly saw my command spell. He's clearly enchanted somehow that he can't tell, can't talk about his involvement in his evil stuff. But you saw him try to speak.
Rufus turns to the black robe guy and says, like, he's trying to flee. He's scared and he wants to run. And then turns back to Collier.
Collier, 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 says the man in the black robe. Oh, you know the price of failure in the kingdom of mages. You know the price of betrayal. Brothers. And he kind of raises his arms like this, and the other two lift up higher to the point where they can now kind of do like a step and kind of, they almost like levitate down to the ship itself. And they say, under normal circumstances, we might request the captain's permission to board, but we might call this extenuating. And the mage in the orange robe kind of turns to Corin and says, shall we bind him? And Corin says, it seems to be a good plan, but first I think we should strip the truth from him.
No! No, guys, no! You will kill him. When I hear that, I'm like, no, guys, trust me, I'm a wizard too. He is some kind of manipulation. If he talks about the truth, he will die. Don't get him to some medicine guy first.
They chuckle and they're like, well, that would be proof indeed of his misdeeds. That might be enough for us.
Okay. His blood is on your hands.
And he kind of chuckles at your comment there, and he says, well, up until a minute ago, it was about to be your blood on our hands. So perhaps this is good for you. So the three mages kind of, they all kind of converge, so they're standing probably like in the same area where you guys are. You guys can figure out exactly how you're standing and whatnot for the scene, but the orange robe wizard, he kind of reaches into his robe and he pulls out this small rock, and the rock is a kind of a green color, and he taps the rock and you almost see this like ripples come off of it, and as the ripples kind of reach out to where the other guy is, you can see them start to vibrate. His actual skin starts vibrating. And as he does that, you can hear almost like a silent scream in the guy's face, and his skin starts to crack. And as the skin starts to crack, you can see the other two mages are a little bit shocked by what's happening. And Corin says, "Oh my God, he's already been taken! Everyone, quick, stand back!" And as he kind of calls for everyone to stand back, the skin kind of explodes off of this guy. And Corin raises a quick shield within the shield, and it kind of these pieces of, almost looks like, again, like almost a bone, almost kind of a skin hardened kind of thing. And beneath is, what's left standing on this rock is this massive skeleton. And then, now that the skin and everything is gone, the clicking jaw of this guy on the rock kind of chuckles for a moment and says, "Well, I guess you've found us out now, Corin. Collier's been dead for a while. His body has been my slave. And now, well, perhaps I'll take out some of you, or not. It doesn't matter to me." And then the the skeleton golem that's on this thing basically jumps off of that onto the deck of the ship. Can I get initiative rolls for everybody?
Fuck. 10.
17.
Okay.
9. Just Sherwood. Don't add anything to that, do you? No bonuses, just as is.
Well, there might be, depending on your character.
Yeah, you've probably got low decks. So, like,
12, thank you very much.
you might get... You get +1.
Right, just before this kicks off, because I might be needing this. Now, I've got level 6 Aura of Protection, and it says, blah, 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 add your Charisma modifier to all of your saving throws. Now, my Charisma is 16, Ability modifier +3, but then saving throw +9, and then it says Ability modifier 6 +3. So, which one is the modifier that I use, the 3 or the 6? For
I'm going to be
saving
honest with you, I
throws?
wasn't listening to that at all.
Yeah,
Talk to the other guys for a second. I'm going to write down. Sorry.
yeah, I'll say that again a bit slower. Yeah.
Right, so I've got this Aura of Protection now, and it says where you add your Charisma modifier to all of your saving throws. Now, my Charisma is 16, and abilities, it says my modifier is +3.
Yeah,
That's
+3 is
that's
the modifier.
+3. Yeah.
Right, okay. So basically, I get a +3 modifier to all my saving throws on top of any bonuses I've got already. And if you boys are within 10 feet of me, you get that as well, that extra +3.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Nice one.
Nice.
not good for you, Dave, because you're hiding behind boxes and Oleifr's as far away as possible, shooting spanners at people.
No, I will follow in yours.
There you go, after if you want that cheeky +3. And I think we're going to need saving throws in this one because we're up against some sort of foul magic. So, yeah. To me, lads, rally to me!
To me! Cool. Alright, yeah. Well, yeah, I would have been pretty close to anyway, I think. So I was chatting to...
Yeah, well, I don't know how the battle's going to pan out, but yeah, it's just, that's what I mean. Just if any of you guys are within 10 feet of me, if you saving throws, you get +3 bonus.
You'd be like,
lordly presence.
you're like, to me! And then I'm already just standing behind you.
They're like Dave's in my pocket. Get out.
Just like, go on, Sir Sherwood, you can take it.
Oleifr's hiding under me cloak.
Nice.
So come on, Mr. GM, when you're ready, do your worst, sir.
Be careful what you wish for.
True that.
All right.
Actually,
So the
Sherwood
order's
did
going to go,
so.
just so you know, it's going to be Corin first, Rufus second, Sherwood third, Antion, who's the orange guy, will go next, then Oleifr, Dalgish, who's the red guy, and then Collier, or Blunt. In this case, maybe, who I wrote down as Blunt, which I have no reason why. Like,
Just keeping his bunt, the cunt.
All right. So Corin sees this. The Black Robe Mage sees this guy jump off of the thing, and the first thing he does is he brings his hands together in kind of like a clapping motion, and the clapping motion causes the skeleton to basically break apart into its component pieces. But you can see that he's kind of shaking his hands as it's doing it, but then the skeleton comes back together again, and the skeleton kind of chuckles and says, "Do your worst, old man." And the older guy kind of slumps down to a knee for a second. It's taken a lot of energy out of him doing this maneuver that backfired on him. Rufus, it's your turn. So you guys can tell me if it's differently, but I basically see kind of like a semicircle where you guys are standing around this thing that's jumped onto the ship. If you're in a different position or whatever, just say the words, no problem.
I'm a little bit further away, but still in the 10 feet range of my friend, of course.
Nice.
Everyone wants a bit of Sherwood now, eh?
Out of is I guess interest for you guys as well. I was just reading through movement stuff, and it said that your movement can be split up. So if you have a power which grants you 2 attacks and 1 action, you can like move 10 foot, do your first attack, move another 15 foot, and attack again after.
Ooh.
Nice.
So that double attack stuff, you can actually like hop around quite a bit between.
Good to know.
Okay, I'll try. I haven't tried this one yet. I'll try Fairy Fire. So he's got to do a Dex saving throw.
Okay.
But I don't know what did he save against on that for a Dex saving throw?
It'll probably be your thing, unless it says it's like a DM created one.
No, yeah, it's just against whatever I told you before. 14.
Yeah. Okay. A natural 20 is going to be successful.
Yeah, that's a pretty successful saving throw there.
You know, if you're into that. So why don't you describe your spectacular miss?
So basically, I just shoot like a bolt of green flame out at him.
Green flame!
And we'll just say for a moment that his skeleton kind of just collapses down and it just goes through the thin air, and then it sort of just reassembles back up like a whip-like motion.
Nice.
And Rufus is just standing there, hands still out, just like watching it, and just says, "Oh fuck." And
Is that the best you've got?
Rufus would say that the best I've got, but you're gonna have to go through this guy first.
Nice. Whose turn it is now?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So somebody needs slapping.
And I'd be like, Sherwood, this is your time. You can defeat this foul monstrosity, and you get an inspiration die.
Nice. That's your DA one.
Which may be added to attacking rolls, your AC as a defense, or your damage.
Okay, so I've got one. Alright, so yeah, you're full of shit, Dave. No, last time I used one of your silly inspiration dice, it didn't work. So your sweet words, just
Don't move me. I'm minor. My major. You're minor.
Right. Well, okay. Like so, basically, you like with Dave's words kind of like echoing in my ears. It just fires me up, and Sir Sherwood will just go and try and, as in Sir Sherwood fashion, decapitate the guy with one swing.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Why is this so slow? 3.
You almost had him there. You almost.
Hang on. Do I get a reroll for that amazing narration at the start?
No.
Oh yeah, you changed the rules. I wouldn't have bothered narrating that epic.
I thought you were quite keen to do the opening.
Well, because I knew I was going to roll a 3 on my first attack. So, Dave, that inspiration dice doesn't let me re-roll, does it? I just add the D8.
It's a bonus you can add on. Before it's been confirmed if it hits, though.
Yeah, okay. Alright, well in that case I'll just again to show it, takes his practice swing, kind of brings it round his head, spins the sword, and then he's gonna use this is the real hit coming up. So do I call that inspiration now?
No, you can roll your dice first.
Okay.
Just before you know if it hits or not.
14 plus my strength is 7, so it's 21.
21 will be a hit.
Of course it will. Alright, so let's roll that 2d6. So slow tonight, 1 and 6. I'll re-roll the 1.
Hey, somebody's got a good memory on it tonight.
3 plus that's 13 damage.
Okay.
I don't invoke any kind of spells or whatever. He's not worth it just yet.
Nice. So, describe your hit.
Okay, so Sherwood, with Dave, kind of get him. You can do him. So he brings his huge sword up, kind of whirls it round his head once, as if he's going for a swing, but he's actually just revving up for the big hit. So he spins for a second time and just slashes down at the guy across his chest. So basically, it's like round the head once, and then it comes round again, and yeah, and this huge slashing motion across the guy's chest for 13 damage.
Nice. So yeah, your big hit comes through, and basically you see probably about like a 2-inch piece of a rib go goop, 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 and splash into the water.
Sherwood will chuckle.
Does he care?
These guys like to laugh, so Sherwood chuckles at him when he sees like a bit of his body fly off. You've met your match, heathen.
He laughs and says, "You are certainly a funny one."
The power of Tyr is with me.
Nice. And the next guy, unless you're going to move or whatnot. Okay. So the guy in the orange robes, he raises his hands up again, and you hear kind of almost like a sound of like a wave going by come out of his mouth. And suddenly you can see the air starting to crystallize around this thing, and then this kind of block of ice closes around it and then shatters. And you see some kind of another small couple of pieces of bone fall off of him. And he says, "Collier or Bunt or whoever you are, you have betrayed the mages. You will not escape. You will not survive."
Huzzah!
And Oleifr, it's your turn.
Since I'm out of spell slots, magic missile. Bitch. Magic missile is a spell. Okay, fuck that. I'm firing a firebolt at him.
Okay.
Oh no, even better. He's undead, right? He's a...
Yep.
Okay, then I cast a Chill Touch, the flying frozen hand again. Let's see, 20. Oi, nice. That's
I don't want to be a party pooper, lads, but we haven't rested, so I remember you were running low on spells.
Yeah, this is a cantrip. I can use this.
Oh, okay,
yeah, he
cool.
just said he'd use that with a...
Yeah, so I'm just trying to, I shouldn't say not really, but Sherwood has all his spells back.
Okay, so I guess that's a hit, most likely.
Yep.
8 damage, yeah.
Okay.
And he can't regenerate hit points. And he has disadvantage at attacking me if he's
Nice.
undead. And since he's undead.
Very nice.
Thank God.
So yeah, your Chill Touch kind of goes
Oh, I
out.
didn't know he's undead. Like I get bonuses.
Oh yeah, dude, yeah, you should be radianting it up.
Yeah. Cast your light on me again, just for visuals.
Nice. Yeah, so the Chill Touch goes out from Oleifr, kind of clouds through the other chill in the air, and you can see that these little, even like the small shards that have already shattered, are breaking into even smaller pieces and kind of digging into parts of the bone and whatnot. Next up, the red rogue wizard, who again you guys will recall from your own recent battle with his doppelganger. You hear a familiar sound. You hear basically the words to a spell that you already heard. And the wood in the deck kind of starts cracking up, crack, 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 and then it goes to basically turns in and starts to spear towards the guy.
I've seen this one before.
All right. So the wood kind of like stabs through the rib cage and kind of through the arm bones and the leg bones and whatnot. And he now is unable to maneuver. He cannot move from his position. And Dalgish says, "As my brothers before me have said, we will not allow this. Your forays into the dark ways have endangered our kingdom. Here we have an emissary of the Empire sitting in our land with legitimate grievance against the council. This will not be suffered. And at this, the skeleton kind of chuckles. And he's like, I care little for your council. I care even less for the Empire. All that matters now is that I delay you long enough for our plans to come to fruition. And as he says that, he kind of, you can hear a kind of sound. And there's kind of a black cloud kind of seems to emanate out from him. And as you kind of... Actually, let's get a perception check from all three of you for this one.
Hearing, listening, seeing?
22.
Okay.
You can choose whichever sense you want.
Like 17 anyway.
Smell check.
Smell check.
18.
18, yeah, I'm 18 as well.
22.
Plus 1.
So all three of you hear kind of a squelching sound. And where... Sorry, give me 1 second. Of course, I can't find notes from last game. Alright. So, you hear this kind of squelching sound and you turn, and the tall harpy, you can see that the flesh is starting to rip off of her stomach region. It's just kind of shredding, like, and you see just this blood pouring out, and she just starts to scream.
Ooh. Our friend.
What started to rip off? The flesh started to rip off.
Yeah, like you can't see what's doing it, but there's kind of shreds of her bodice, and then her flesh starts ripping up. And that would put it back to Corin, the dark rogue mage. He's still down on his knee, still kind of taking it up. And you see him kind of stumble back to his feet. You will be stopped. You will be stopped. And he kind of reaches up, and you can see that he kind of does a pulling down motion. And you can almost hear, and the sound is kind of... And I'll leave that for a moment. Moving on to Rufus.
Rufus, how far away is Harpy from Rufus?
She's up on the top deck kind of area, and you're down in the main part. So probably 25, 30 feet?
I was going to just about get there. How bad is she looking? Obviously, she's having a bad time.
Yeah, she's not doing very well. That's for sure. Question is whether you care or not.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we kind of do. She's been actually sort of pretty reasonable with us after we've met her. And yeah, Rufus has had a bit of banter with her. He thinks that she's kind of got some good in her. And he does feel slightly guilty that we kind of completely fucked her up when we probably could have just paid her some money for a boat ride. Seeing that the flesh is pulling off her, she's bleeding out, the look of horror on her face, and like Rufus will try and sort of run towards her. If it's 30 foot, he should just about be able to get up next to her, and he'll lay his hands on the wounds and try and like counteract. Not the spell, but like counteract some of the damage to buy us some time with cure wounds.
Okay.
Just she rolls, or I can roll for it, I guess.
You can roll it.
1d6. Yeah, I'll actually I'll boost it. 1, 2, 2. I'll boost it by 2 levels. She gets 3. Oops. 1, 2, 3. So that's going to heal her for 13, 16,
Nice.
19.
Okay.
So I get my modifier as well.
Very nice. So you kind of, I'm going to narrate this if you don't mind, just to give you the scene of kind of what's going on.
Yep.
You lay your hands on her, and you can see the flesh immediately starts to kind of knit back together. She's at the point where she's just kind of shaking from the fact that her body's being ripped apart and kind of put back together all at the same time. Not quite that way over. But you managed to put the flesh back together, and you kind of, I'm assuming kind of thing, might take a deep breath at that moment. But as soon as you kind of pull your hand away, the skin splits again. Not to the degree where it was, but the process seems to have started over again.
Guess we better kill him.
Oh, yeah, Rufus is done there. He'll just be sort of like looking slightly relieved as he looks at Happy, and he's just like, that's okay, you're going to be... And he sort of starts to say fine, looks down, sees her stomach, and he's just, you'll be... Fuck! And starts trying to like push down on her stomach again. Starts to rip up.
Nice. Sir Sherwood.
Oh, sorry, as a incidentally remover as well, I've got a potion of healing I'll pull out.
Okay.
But not use.
Look what I could have given.
Yeah, I'm going to take what's the name of an action, or not an action, some kind of thing to move it up. So
Go for it.
Yeah.
Sir Sherwood.
Just start drinking it. Yeah.
So Sherwood's going to bring the pain. He's going to call forth the thunder of Tia.
Yeah.
And so that's an incidental, so I can do that now. But also I'm going to use Divine Smite at level 1, so I'll get another 2d8. And I can use the Divine Smite on both attacks.
Nice.
And that's a bonus action. I can cast it on top of other stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll also get another d8 because it's undead. So first hit's going to be the Thunderous Smite, and if that hits, then it's going to be awesome. But if it misses, well, I've still got the second attack. So, and I've got that inspiration dice. Okay, so Sherwood, one time. First hit. 13 plus 7 is 20.
That would be a hit.
Okay, so Sherwood's just like, he's gonna like kind of he's slashed across him. He's gonna bring his sword round and just say like, yell like really loud, Tia, guide my hand, and like come down in this huge overhead like chop. So the damage is going to be immense. I'll be honest. Let's do the 2d6 normal damage first. Okay, so I'll re-roll the 2. So that's 6 plus. So that's 10. Thunderous Smite is 2d6 thunder. Another 2. So that's. I'm going to write this down because it's going to be big. Right. So that's 10 so far. I'll clear those. Another 2 is 8 thunder damage. You're going to get knocked back and need to make a. You're going to make a strength save or be pushed back 10 feet in prone.
Okay, we'll kind of skip that because right now he's already incapacitated by being held on by these.
Is he? He's incapacitated.
Yeah, he can't move.
Good, because his damage is doubled. Okay. Oh, it says the damage dice is doubled. Incredible, especially if you're attacking something under, say, hold monster or hold person. Forget it. It's going to hurt anyway. So that's 8. And then I need another 3d8 for my Divine Smite.
Nice.
3. So slow tonight. Oh, 8. Oh, what? 8 and 1, 1. So that's another 10.
Yep.
So that's a total of 28 on the first hit. And on that hit, basically, my sword kind of lit up with like a radiant light from the Divine Smite, but also that huge thunder peal just like could be heard for 300 feet. It was a monster of a hit.
Nice.
Okay, so that's
chunks
28.
of the wood holding him kind of get blasted away. Like you see these splinters kind of dust out into the ocean as well.
Okay, so yeah, again, that one was a huge chop overhead chop, which kind of like just smashed into its head, and then Sherwood will kind of like pull his sword back and just go for like a midriff shot, like horizontally try and chop him in half. So let's clear those. Hit roll. I need a 20 one time. 10, 17.
That's it.
Okay, so I'll save that inspiration dice. So that's 17. So again, it's 2d6 plus 4 weapon damage. 5, 9. So 13.
Yep.
And then I get another 3d8 because the Divine Smite's still active. Oh, so show. Bring in the pain. 1, piss off. 7 and 6. Okay, so 8 and 6 is 14.
Mm-hmm.
So 27 damage for that second hit.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Burst
You dropped
damage
him by
time.
55 damage there. Nice.
Yeah.
What?
Two swings of the sword, mate. So Sherwood.
Wow.
Undead. The power of Tyr is imbuing him. It makes him sick to his stomach. So yeah, he's just basically a huge overhead chop, and then pulled his sword up and just tried to like cut him in two across the middle.
Nice. So yeah, basically you cut right through his spine on the second hit. Like the first one kind of chunks off a big whole piece of his skull. And the second shot basically cuts him spine right in half. The legs seem to drop off of him, but he's still kind of held up there by the wood planks that are going through the different parts of his body. And he chuckles as he's taking this damage and says, "Destroy me if you will, but you will never defeat us."
How on earth is he still laughing? I've just done enough damage to take down a small town.
He's alive.
He's still laughing. Okay, here comes Oleifr to steal the glory with his spanner and get the kill.
He's got 2 hit points left.
Yeah, here comes Oleifr, the hero.
Of course.
Gnome.
So first, before Oleifr is the orange cloak
The other
guy.
wizard.
Yeah, and the the other wizard, basically he steps forward, so he's standing kind of right beside Sir Sherwood.
So does anyone, like any of the other people, the other mages, the crew, does anyone react at just the magnitude of Sherwood? Do I get any applause or? Because come on,
Slow clap from me.
right sword, that was. Oh.
Right, if Ryan will allow it, as an incidental, Rufus will just like roll his eyes, and then you'll hear some like little applause and stuff coming from around you.
Nice. Sure, why not?
I don't even have that spell, but let's say I do.
So Sherwood is pleased.
Yeah, just the sound of magic hand clapping.
Nice. So the orange robe guy kind of steps up beside Sir Sherwood, and he looks to him and says, "You do mighty deeds, my friend. Now it's my turn." And he kind of puts his fist forward in front of him. And he kind of takes like a heavy stance, and he says, "Sonic boom!"
Nice! Awesome.
So
Has he got like a crew cut in blonde hair, this guy?
Yeah, we'll give it to him, sure, why not? So he shoots out a destructive wave. It comes out just massive, this blast of energy. It looks like almost like a half moon. It's yellow energy, kind of. All right, and he does. Mm, 17 damage. Okay. And by this point, the kind of basically everywhere above the eyes is gone on this thing. It's kind of one arm left It's got, you can see its spine down to just under its rib cage, and half of its rib cage is gone. And Oleifr, it's your turn.
Yeah, finish him! With my big... Okay, I have a few spell slots left on low level, so I'm gonna cast Magic Wrenches, or Magic Missile, however you
Nice.
want to call them. It's a level
Magic-
1 spell.
Magic nuts.
These nuts!
Take these nuts! Yeah. Oh yeah,
Wow.
Oh.
that's 6 damage
Okay.
from 3 wrenches.
Very nice, very nice. So yeah, your kind of wrenches go through and just kind of like bing, 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 and he just laughs.
Pink, pink,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he says, at this point, you know, he's kind of crumbling into pieces, but still around. And as the red-robed mage steps forward, he kind of turns his head and says, "You may have saved Burditch, but you will not be able to save the other cities. While I may meet my death here today, I have no soul to fear. Our followers of Luxor, we stand poised to get everything we ever wanted. Nothing will stand in our way."
Except us.
Does the show would
And
just
those
say,
wizards.
enough talk and then finish the job.
Nice. So, just for fun, just for fun, everybody roll a percentile. Highest one can have the last shot.
Oh, come on. It's got to be mine. I've earned it. 55 in one session. In one session.
95.
41. Oh, no.
98.
Steal.
Ah,
Back
you
to the-
won. What? No, you're 42. I can see your number. Get the fuck
You
out.
gotta
Isn't that,
trust
yeah,
me.
but hang on, isn't 42 the meaning of the answer to like the meaning of the universe? So
Life, the universe, and everything.
yeah, well there you go. 42 is an automatic win. I don't know what rules you play, Ola. But if
Nice.
you roll 42
Unfortunately,
or
we're dealing
69,
with death as opposed to life, the universe, and everything.
well, typical rules are if you roll 42 or 69, it's an automatic win.
Nice.
No.
And
I
yes,
got 95 as well. Look at that.
Oh no, what are you
After
doing?
the reroll, yeah.
Go on, Ola.
Five rerolls.
You're good at stealing Sherwood's kills.
yeah,
What's the difference with this
it's
one?
thematic by this point.
Yeah, it's canon.
Yeah.
Ola's just kill steals.
Mage,
From a
Ola.
real
Rules-
cannon
rules
as
like he did
well.
last time though, he won't kill himself.
I throw some more wrenches. Take these. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah. Did you have enough last time? Because here's some more. Ping.
Go for it, buddy.
Yeah, I just keep throwing until it disappears. No. And then holster them back into my the belt at the front that only nerds wear.
Nice, you're Batman utility belt.
Yeah, you don't have like a little top pocket kind of pen organizer for your wrenches, kind of accountant style.
So yeah, these wrenches come out from Oleifr and smash into this skeleton, breaking it into its kind of constituent final pieces. And it just kind of crumbles down to the deck. The red mage kind of twists his hand, and the decking kind of drops back down. The orange mage standing beside Sir Sherwood has this old guy kind of big grin on his face as he's looking at Sir Sherwood. And the black robe guy looks up and says, "Oh dear, that may have been a bit precipitous." And that whistling sound that you hear is starting to resolve itself into a massive boulder coming down at the ship.
So
at
Sherwood will
basically
say,
subsonic speeds.
Sherwood will say, don't know what that word means. Can you explain it simpler?
It means rain is coming.
Yeah.
Yes, Sherwood will kind of like, he'll start looking up.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna need a Dex or Con save from everybody standing.
To 10 feet to me, lads.
Yeah, I'm close to you. I made that clear.
Let's have a look.
19?
Dex or con? I'll take a con save. So
We get +3 from your thing?
yeah, +3 if you're within 10 feet.
Of course. Okay, then
Oh,
I'm
somebody, you rolled a
perfect.
1, Oliver.
Perfect. And I'm at 7. I'm at 7.
Okay, so Sherwood got 60, 80,
Goodbye
20,
again, guys.
21 with modifiers.
Time to go swimming with the fish.
Yeah, so you're at
That's the main
you're
thing.
at the edge of the protection zone from Sir Sherwood, but this massive boulder just comes flipping out of the sky like just crazy fast.
Just as it's coming down, so Sherwood just takes a couple of steps back. Maybe
Yeah.
2 or 3 feet.
Moves out of the range, yeah. So this boulder just smashes right into the place where the guy was standing before, and this is probably about an 8-foot boulder, like about twice the size of the one that these guys came down on, and it just blasts right through the ship. And unfortunately for Oleifr Tinkerhand, he was standing kind of in line with the grains of the wood, shall we say, and so one of the planks basically just launches him. And Sir Oleifr Tinkerhand is now experiencing his second or third opportunity for flight in the adventure.
Nice.
Third, yes.
Yes. So, do you have any reaction as you're flying off the ship into the water?
Yes.
Approximately?
Of course. I shoot my go-go gadget belt straight at the mast, and then I'm like swing back. Hopefully, that's the plan.
Nice.
Not the mast, but the top where where it goes vertical, so I can like.
Yeah, the spar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a perception check real quick. Sight.
Perception. Okay. 11 plus my 14 or 12? No, 12.
12. Okay. As you're fiddling with your belt and you're getting ready to kind of toss it into the thing, you either forgot or didn't notice the shield that was still encapsulating the ship. The top part had been opened where the boulder was allowed to come in. But basically, as you're about to make your throw, you hit that shield and you drop into the water. Can you swim?
Of course. I'm an expert swimmer.
It's lucky Sir Sherwood didn't take a dip wearing his plate mail. How deep's this ocean?
And the wood came with me, right? The plank. So I've got something to hold on to.
Well, technically, the whole ship right now is starting to sink, but it's only sunk a few feet because it's now sitting on the bottom of this shield thing that this guy's created.
Yeah.
So even like when you drop in the water, basically there's about 15 or 20 feet of water between the edge of the shield and the edge of the ship, and it kind of curves down. So if you were at the very edge of it, you could actually like slide down as if it was like a inside of a ball kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the maximum depth of the water on the ship is actually only about, again, probably about 10 feet, and kind of going up as the curve, right?
It's more enough for my gnome though.
As Rufus sees Mr. Tinkerhand flying out, you'd like to sort of run to the edge of the deck to the railing and throw out Mage Hand.
Nice. I was hoping you were going to say you pull out your shotgun and yell, pull. All right. What does your mage hand allow for in terms of weight and things like that?
Yeah, I'm not going to try and pull him up, but I'm going to try and do it like a life rope. I think it can only move a small weight, but just kind of enough to sort of pull him towards the boat.
Yeah, 10 pounds. Yeah, 10 pounds.
Yeah, and I'm assuming like if it's not reaching enough, I'll be like, grab the mage hand and see if he'll
Like I give it my rope like that. That makes sense.
All right. So you toss your rope onto this thing.
Oh, I thought you were going to do a mage hand as well. We could have been.
High-fiving. No. My life is more important now.
The other three mages kind of get up and dust themselves off, and the orange robed mage and the red robed mage are both kind of just giving like the black robed mage, and he's got the old guy kind of grin like, hey, what and so the red mage puts his hand down on the railing, and the railing itself kind of comes to life out of this wood, and then kind of almost like snakes down into the water and wraps itself around Oleifr, and then kind of draws him back up and sets him back on the deck. And the guy says,
as Rufus sees that he's able to manipulate the wood so easily, he kind of gestures towards the large hole through the decks and asks whether he might be able to work his weaving magic to stop the boat taking on water. I'm sure the other sailors would appreciate it, and looks around a bit nervous and shocked.
Over at the black robe guy, and he says, "Well, perhaps if Corn has finished putting holes in it, then I'll be happy to fix it up. But if he's going to drop the shield or not bring up any more boulders, then we'll have to see what we can do."
And Rufus will just be Lord Corn.
So he's kind of youngins, and so he kind of maintains the shield and even pulls it up a little bit more so that the boat itself kind of lifts a little higher in the water. And he nods, and then so releasing Oleifr, Doggish then kind of runs his hand across the deck, and basically the wood almost like stretches itself out and starts to cover in the various holes at the various different levels. After about 3 or 4 minutes of this kind of resurfacing and rearranging, he declares the ship to be basically seaworthy again. And at this point, Corin then kind of twirls a hand, and the shielding kind of disappears around, and the boat kind of settles back into natural water.
Yeah. So Ryan, just to clarify, what was the name to colour?
Yeah, Corin is the black robe. Antion is the orange robe, and Dalgish is the red robe.
So was it Dalgish? Dalgish.
Yeah.
Dalgish was the dude who dropped the rock through, yeah?
No, that was Corin.
Sorry, yeah. Who's the woodworker?
The red guy, the same guy you fought.
Yeah, that's it. And orange was Guile.
Yeah. Never got the chance for the flash kick.
yeah, that's a baller move. Sweet. Yeah, how's Tall Harpy looking now?
So yeah, about this time you recognize or realize that you haven't seen her in a few moments, being thrown around and whatnot. But you kind of turn and have a quick look at her, and you notice that her stomach has stopped. Basically, it stopped shredding itself out of that. She seems to have stabilized, but she's not in good shape at the moment.
So yeah, Rufus and seeing that would get back over towards her, and actually, how close is Mr. Tinkerhand to me?
Well, he would come back on the main deck, so probably like less than 20 feet.
Okay, I'll go up to the Harpy first because she's got some obvious bleeding out. I'm assuming Tinkerhand looks a bit bruised up, so I'll call him. I'll be with you shortly, sir. I'll be with you shortly, Mr. Tinkerhand, and sort of skip up the steps towards the Harpy. I'll do another cure.
It's a nice image of me.
He's a half elf. That's what they do, and yeah, I'll do another cure wounds on her.
Okay.
And if no one else is doing anything, after she's kind of healed up and I just kind of check that she's all right, I'll call a couple of the crewmen over to sort of move her somewhere to make her more comfortable, and head back down to Tinkerhand and do another cure wounds on him. Do you want me to roll for her wounds thing? Or
No, it's okay. You don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, I'm assuming I'll heal up Tinkerhand as well, but I think he'll be all right as well.
Yes, please.
I'll do you at level 3.
Yeah, I need 22 hit points.
14. You can have 17 and be grateful.
Yes, I'm more than grateful.
Thanks. Take 17 and like it.
Oh, if are we kind of? I guess we're not technically resting now, are we?
Not yet.
No.
But we're out of encounter?
Yes.
Okay.
So while you guys are kind of getting yourselves in order and whatnot, the 3 mages kind of move themselves towards the bow of the boat, and they seem to be in conference with one another. You hear the occasional whisper, a few glances in your direction, and basically after a few moments they stand back into kind of a triangle group of three, with Corn in the front, Antion behind his left shoulder, and Doggish behind his right shoulder.
Yeah, well, while they're doing that, Rufus will, I guess, after healing up Tinkerhand, will I've kind of used all my healing spell slots up now. So he'll go towards Sir Sherwood and then realise that he hasn't got any healing left, and then instead just massage his ego, be like, "Oh, Sir Sherwood, you're so magnificent today again. I thought you'd split the boat in half with that final cleaving blow."
Mr. Sherwood can't hear you. He's got his eyes closed and he's kind of muttering to himself, and he's communing with his god, who is about to give him some healing love himself.
And Rufus notes this and then says to the other sailors who are looking on with awe and amazement, "Ah, leave the master now to his contemplations and his talking with his divine god." Oh, I can't remember what it's called. I've heard it enough times. What's your god?
Tyr.
Tyr. I was going to Seer. No. He's
Get it
communing
right.
with Tyr. Everyone, keep a respectful distance.
Yeah, and if people were to notice that, they would see that. How many hit points am I on now? 20.
And again, Rufus will just do a minor illusion, cast some kind of like holy emanating light coming off him as he does that. Maybe some little star effects going up. And,
Wow, actually, if I use all of my lay on hands pool, it will take me back to full health to the number. So yeah, like basically, like he's just like contemplating and muttering, and occasionally like you'll hear like Tyr the just, Tyr the virtuous, Tyr the merciful, and then you'll notice that like he's just kind of any kind of cuts that you might have seen. Well, he's basically in a whole suit of armor, but his posture will get like bigger, and color will return to his cheeks, and when he opens his eyes, he's just like all business again.
just even some of the dents in the armor go like ping pop.
Pretty much, as my muscles kind of panel beat from the inside.
Nice.
Love it. So as Sir Sherwood kind of comes back to himself and the light show settles down, the three mages step forward, and Corin gestures to the place where the guy had been before, and he says, "It seems that even though you are technically intruders in our land, we have an apology to make, as one of our own has clearly gone rogue."
Clearly died and been taken over by some weird thing. Yes.
Yes, we will definitely have to do some.
Rufus will sort of do an appreciative bow and say, "Thank you for your wisdom and understanding in this issue. Of course, we'd have never wantonly come into crossed into your lands." Or actually, I mean, he'll sort of look nervously at Sir Sherwood to see if he jumps on him for that one, and we're without an invitation or correspondence first. But the trail was running cold, and we had to move as fast as we could.
So Sherwood will pipe up. As you can see, we had a common enemy.
And he says, yes. We have heard of strange doings in the Empire these days, but perhaps you could enlighten us as to what exactly is happening and what all of this is about.
Perhaps sharing of information would be in order. We can fill you in, but first we must know who is that thing, that monstrosity animating that skull. That was no longer Collier, I'm sure.
He says, yes, it's a disturbing moment indeed. Collier has always been a bit of a special case amongst our group of mages. He's always been attracted to the darkness, and truth be told, before he was part of the Council of Mages, he was a sorcerer connected with the Temple of Loxer.
That explains his background.
We
Sherwood will spit.
thought that he had given that
Boxer.
up once we came and started our own kingdom here. He assured us that he had broken all ties, but now I don't know. It seems that his past has caught up with him and perhaps caught up with us.
Do you know anything of the foul being that was able to animate his corpse? So?
Truly, the necromantic arts are ones that we do not practice and we shun, but if there is anywhere that it came from, I would be fairly certain that it would be from the desolation of Amun-Nar. This is perhaps you've heard of it, it is the homeland of the Temple of Loxer. Of all the gods, he would be the one I would suspect most in this.
Rufus will sort of recount the sort of goings on at the faraway city which we originated from, and the zombie attack, and the what is it again?
Birdage.
Birdage. Yeah. I need to. I'll write that on the top of my paper. And yeah, the zombie attack and the sort of Skele-golem we encountered. According to the original owner of this ship, 3 more boxes were sent out on two other ships. It seems that they'll be spawning attacks across this land. It's important that we can track these ships down. Their origin started within your waters, and I'm assuming that mages of your power know the comings and goings of all ships within this area. Would you be able to give us any aid in tracking these ships? One is the Dirty Pride, the other is Fear of the Sea.
So as you say this, the tall harpy is kind of sitting back, resting against a crate, and she calls out, she says, We met on the Isle of... Sorry, one sec. I got to forget the name I had. We met on the Isle of Asmarin, and from there, we each went our own way. And Corin kind of looks back to Antion and gives him a nod. Antion then closes his eyes, and he starts muttering in his ways. And you can see that he starts turning in a slow circle. And Corin says, If they have been here, perhaps we can find part of the trail for you. And he says, Now, tell me what happened in Birditch exactly.
Rufus looks to Mr. Tinkerhand and says, Mr. Tinkerhand, with your perfect intellectual memory, your photographic memory, perhaps you could recall the events in detail to the mage. Actually, I missed part of that session, so I wasn't...
I just tell him the most important parts. Taken by zombies and shit. Or summoned by that guy with the hand. Explain the magic behind it. Like, clearly somebody animated that golem and stuff.
So he recognizes when you start talking about the guy, the Skele-golem, as under the name Bunt, and he recognizes that as the name that the tall harpy had called Collier as well. And as you tell him a little bit more about the connection with Loxer and whatnot, he's definitely kind of nodding at you, and he's like, well, you've probably heard the histories before, but it's common knowledge that the Temple of Loxer was originally destroyed in an area called Amun-Nar, and we now call it the Desolation of Amun-Nar because it's practically a glass desert there now.
I rolled for history just to check if
you don't need to roll. That was something I had mentioned to you guys before. So.
What was the... Sorry, out of curiosity, what was the Battle of Stonefall? Remember that one?
That was where...
that's the place where...
we went up to the top and we looked...
what's his name?
The place where Oleifr flew from.
No. It's
the place where Luke's character was from.
Mm-hmm.
Character?
Luke.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I can't remember his character name.
Skywalker.
I think he's your father. Anyway, and so he says, yes, so we all know the tales of that, certainly. And if Loxer is back in the game, well, you can bet that death is the ultimate goal. Now, it's interesting that the Temple of Loxer would get involved with someone in the Council of Mages, and I guess it kind of makes sense as a red herring to keep researchers away from Loxer and put them onto us who, let's be honest, are already a little bit of an enemy with the Empire. Now, the relations with us and the Empire have been fairly strong recently, but there are always some who can't let the past go.
Rufus wants to know how long Loxer has been with the... Loxer. How long Collier had been with the Mages.
Well, Collier himself has been with the Mages for more than 10 years in the Council. Of course, he's been a member of the Guild for much, much longer, practically his whole life. But I don't know. There was a time when he was a brighter soul, but there was also a time when he was a darker soul. So it's hard for us to pinpoint when that might have been exactly when this changeover occurred.
That monstrosity mentioned that Collier had been dead for some time. With hindsight, could you make a guess about as to when he might have been turned?
And he kind of takes a moment. He says, well, it's hard to say, but most recently he was on a mission, and that took him outside of our borders. And he kind of side eyes kind of onto Sir Sherwood and says, I can't recall exactly where he was going, but it's possible that he was replaced then.
And within your sort of your connections and your networks, have you heard any other information throughout the kingdoms of undead rising?
He says, no, we've not heard any tales of such. And as he's just kind of finishing the sentence, Antion's eyes open. And he says, I know where they were, and I know the direction that they're heading, but not their final destinations. I have tracked the 3 ships to our borders and beyond. This one, and he kind of motions to the ship that you guys are on, I know made landfall to the east of here. And he says, one of the other 2 ships went to the south and east. I can track it as far as the Triton Sea, but not beyond. And he says, and the other made its passage north, and then cut into the Sea of Hyle.
Marked it on the map.
Where did the other one go? Southeast?
Yeah, southeast to the Triton Sea. That's similar to the Monastery of Elemental Fist where Master Jaeger is from.
Rufus calls to Harpy. Which of the ships was first to disembark?
Sorry, one sec. She says, as far as I recall, it was the Fear of the Sea under Penholt.
Master Antion, with your knowledge of the winds and the routes, if Fear of the Sea was the first to disembark, which route would it have taken, the north or the south?
Says, I believe it went to the north.
Rufus says, excellent.
If any of you guys want to give me kind of a... what would geography be? Like nature or history, I guess?
History, I guess. Yes, history sounds perfect.
It's not even worth me rolling, I'll be honest.
Investigation. What was
Okay,
yours?
23 on history.
I get -1. I'll do it anyway, though, just for the lol.
Yeah, good roll.
What am I going to roll?
6. Yeah.
I'm going to roll survival, because, like, you know, geography is a bit of a survival skill. 11.
Nice. So as usual, Oleifr's the only one that knows what's going on.
Surprise.
Thinking back to the general geography of the land, the ship that's going to the north probably would have circled the island north of Fox's Heath, where you guys had originally boarded this ship. And if it was continuing to the Sea of Hyle, there's a chance that it went to the northern continent on the Jaeger Veld, or it may have kind of cut into the bay near the Mountains of Shadow. And then you know that if it went into the Mountains of Shadow, it would be much closer to one of the major cities of the Empire called Brickenwhite. And Brickenwhite is basically the main location of all foods, or most food sources in the land. And thinking about the Triton Sea, it would pass the city of Ansana, which is where Master Jaeger is originally from. It may have stopped there, or if it went in further, the other likely location would have been near the Werewood Forest, where there's the city of Portstead. And Portstead is famous for its metalworks.
Cool. I'm pretty sure we were still carrying the original box from before, with which the hand had been in.
Yep.
I'll say that Master Jaeger has up in the crow's nest. So Rufus will shout up, "Master Jaeger, the box from the hand!" And you just hear this, this like little box just gets tossed. And then this comes spinning down. Rufus reaches up, catches it, and presents the box to whoever's the nearest of the mages, and says, "This was the box used to transport the hand. If you notice by the wood, it becomes from the northern region near Jaeger's Veld. I think there's some forest up there. Yeah, I think we rolled for it before."
Yeah, Doggish steps forward and he holds the box. Excuse me. And for a moment, you can see that he's kind of taking in like the lines of the box and says, "Yes, you are certainly correct. That is where this wood has come from."
Using each box is carrying a severed limb from what used to be Collier. Using some of the remains of his skeleton and the sort of the box you see before you, is there any way that you could perhaps make some kind of, not tracking, but detection device if we come close?
Okay, just for your own knowledge, you should, or you may remember that this person, Collier, was not Bunt, as you recognize it.
Ah, okay. What was he then? Bunt was a shade. Is that it?
Bunt is the original person, and he was basically, he's kind of the direct opposite of Sir Sherwood, in that he's kind of the hand of Loxer.
Is he a really modest bad guy?
Yeah.
And the filth.
Yeah. Trying to remember what I called him. I can't remember the exact name I used for him. Look it up. I'll get it for you guys next time. Anyway, he's part of the main hierarchy of the Temple of Loxer, and you have seen what he looks like based on the Skelegolem that you originally encountered. This one that you've just been attacked by seems to be of a much lesser both strength and kind of makeup. This one seems to have been created from the bones of the original Collier.
Okay.
who, again, has clearly been dead for some time.
So this was who what's her face recognized.
Yes.
Poor Happy
Yeah,
recognized.
so Tall Harpy recognized Collier as the one who dropped the boxes off under the name of Bunt.
Okay. Cool.
God,
Anyway,
aren't you
then,
listening? No.
yeah. He was the doppelganger of the something.
Yeah, is it?
Okay, so Rufus will just sort of listen to see if they can provide any more information about the box, or does it have any? Yes, does this box have any particular properties to hide the dark magic or anything?
He says, Doggish says, well, there does seem to be a preservation spell on it. At one point, it seems that as long as the box is sealed, whatever is inside it will not decay or die.
Oh, that's quite good to know. It's kind of like a mini refrigerator. Awesome. If only George could have had this from you. So Rufus will take the box back and be like, "Thank you for your insights, sir. We have travelled far and fought side by side today." And he looks around at this sort of ocean, and there's obviously nothing in sight for anywhere. It appears that there are no nearby ports. I wonder if you could grant us access into your kingdom for the next few days while we resupply and re-raise our morale and make our next plans.
Corin kind of turns and points off to starboard about like 16 degrees. And he says, in that direction there is an island. It is well supplied with natural fruits and wildlife. You'd be more than welcome to make stay there for the next few days. But beyond that, you should leave these borders. We will pass on the message to the others that you have access to this island and not to be bothered. But that pass will expire. So as much as we appreciate the assistance that you've given us today, our sovereignty is very important to us.
Rufus is like, of course we have never meant to impose upon or threaten your sovereignty. You must understand that we were just following a trail which led to your doorstep. In many ways, we have done you a service by rooting out a traitor within your midst too.
He says, certainly, this has been a fortuitous meeting indeed. Despite its initial purpose, we have found common ground.
Cool.
Yep.
And if there's nothing further with that, basically the three mages, after making their kind of vows and whatnot.
Rufus would actually just like to sort of ask, so far we have, we've come across one person within your midst, and we'll be following this down as far as we can go. If we were to discover any more information which might aid your kingdom, or maybe mutually beneficial to both of us, is there a way we could contact you?
And Corin kind of looks over to Doggish, and Doggish reaches down to the floor in the ship, and basically kind of puts his fingers into the wood, turns out a circle of the wood, pops it out, smooths it back down again, and hands the circle over to you and says, "Say my name, I will hear your call."
And thank you, my lord. He takes it and pockets it.
Nice. And at that, the three guys kind of, Corin goes to the bow, the other two's to the side and the back. They motion with their hands, which lowers the rocks down. They step off, basically levitate themselves across to the rocks, and then the rocks just shoot themselves into the sky at ridiculous velocity.
Actually, I wanted to go and visit the castle and try and get some flying rocks and stuff, but maybe later. Cool, that's awesome. Rufus turns to Sir Sherwood and Mr. Tinkerhand, sort of dusts himself down, straightens up his clothes, and it's just like, well, that was intense. And just shouts at the men, "You heard him, island over there," and points kind of vaguely in the direction the guy had mentioned. He goes, Drop the sails, raise the anchor, and scrub the decks. Let's get out of here.
Aye, Captain.
Where's my rum? And like one of those sort of, I don't know. What's for like the young guy on a boat? The little, there's always some like little
cabin boy.
Yeah, the little cabin boy, orphan kid. Will probably run up and like sort of give me a bottle of rum. I'll take a swig of that.
Nice.
Yeah. So Sherwood will go and stand at the front of the boat and just kind of like stare intently at the island where we're going. Just like like he can sense the filth. Like every kind of.
Nice.
What?
After like an hour or two, the land kind of comes into sight, and you can slowly begin to see this island. It's a fair size, probably about a couple of kilometers across. It's got a wooded region. It's got kind of a savanna area, and it seems like a swamp at the one end too. You can see fruit trees even from the beach as you guys are approaching. The water around you seems to be quite affluent with fish, and doesn't seem to be that fresh water will be a problem either.
Cool. So yeah, we'll set the crew on to any kind of repairs which are needed. Divide up another posse to go out and forage for goods. Replenish.
Fishing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's go fishing. And, yeah, we'll get some fresh water and all that kind of stuff, and just generally patch up. If we need to cut some wood down and some trees to like do any repairs, we'll sort that out. And then I guess the rest of us will convene in the captain's room.
You can knock.
Bring the tall harpy. Bring the tall harpy in as well, and we'll lay out the maps. I'm assuming that's where she keeps all her maps.
Yeah.
When you ask me, I've ransacked her apartment, her cabin, mate. I've gone through all her personal stuff. So, like, yeah, right. Okay. So Sherwood's still at about an hour. Yeah, and I'm still at the front of the boat, but, you want to ask permission before you go snooping around my quarters.
Yeah, we definitely don't. While you're still standing there, we're sort of like, we're all business.
That's fine, I've got Jimmy and Dash watching intently. They'll come and tell me something's going on.
Okay, they do.
They do.
So Sherwood, they're going into your personal chambers. Well, really?
I'm fishing.
So Sherwood will turn around with a swoop of the cloak and stride towards the chambers, the cabin, and say, "What's the meaning of this?"
Rufus will be like, "Thank you for calling this meeting, Sir Sherwood. An excellent idea to plan the next step in our adventure."
Yes, it was, wasn't it? I know. You don't need to tell me that, Singer. Everything I do is for a reason.
See, Dash. Sir Sherwood. Oh, he's 3 moves ahead.
That's the thing. You figured out. You play to his vanity. He loves it. That's right. So Sherwood will kind of like pore intently over the maps like he has a clue what he's looking at. And just be like, yeah, okay. There's a lot of water. Yeah.
Rufus will say, like, Sir Sherwood, if I may, Jimmy, please fetch Mr. Tinkerhand. I think we'll need his general intelligence score to be able to figure this map stuff out.
What are you saying? The map's easy. Look, there's the water, there's the land.
No, actually, Sir Sherwood, the blue stuff is the water.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I was just clarifying your excellent points there. Actually, I don't have a map loaded up there.
Yeah, we've got cartography skills.
There used to be a thing on the other one, wasn't it, cartography? So I'm going to have to get back into the Facebook page to find the map.
Let me just pop it up on the screen share.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good as well.
Not sure if it would be.
I'm sure I had it somewhere. I don't know what I've done with it.
You see it?
Yes.
Alright, so you guys are basically in this area here. So this island is where you're actually sitting right here.
The lonely island.
Yeah. And then so the first one the ship went down this direction, Triton Sea, and the second one went, again, there's the island you're at here, going up here in this particular direction, so around these islands and then back in here. Now the cities that were mentioned, the one of them is here, and the other one is near the Werewood Forest here.
Damn.
It's pretty far, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Where was the
and
forest? Where was the
original-
forest where the wood where the boxes would have come from?
Yeah, it's up on the island up here as well. And the original temple, where everything went down with Loxer originally, is now the Desolation of Amenar here,
So where's that?
right there,
Ah, okay.
southwest of where you are.
So that's the original temple bit. To sort of like meta a little bit here, because he's not here, would Master Jaeger have any particular pertinent information as to the locations? Because like one of the locations is near his hometown, but I think he kind of visited there recently, didn't he?
Yeah, like he would know the basics of it, which would be that it's kind of a metalworks specialty place. Like a lot of the Empire's weapons come from there. Probably Sir Sherwood's armor was fabricated there. Things like that. Like, but most of the military would be supplied from there. A lot of the commercial goods of metal sort would come from that area. That kind of thing.
And what about the other place? What's that region known for?
Yeah, it's known for the food production. Basically, most of the like, it would be kind of the Canadian prairies. So like all the grains and stuff like that would be like, everything would filter through that city and then be distributed to the Empire.
Rufus will sort of like take this in, sort of look at Sir Sherwood, and be like, they're trying to cripple the Empire, striking at the main food basin of the Empire, and then attacking your main military defense production area.
With like slam down like one big like gauntleted hand into the other and say, "Damn their black souls." Not if I have anything to do with it, they won't.
I guess like
Set sail for there. Get me there.
So now we have a dilemma.
That's it. Leaving it there.
Nice.
Should we?
That's where Sherwood wants to go.
Should we head to the Should we head to the munitions area first, so that the Empire can defend itself, or the food, so the Empire can feed itself?
I'm the fifth of the Emperor, the Sword of Justice. I will defend it by myself if I have to. But they can't. They can live without steel, but not without food. Head to the farms.
My thinking's exactly Sir Sherwood.
That's right. You're not as dumb as you look, Singer.
And Rufus would be like, Sir Sherwood, thank you.
How are my latest ballads coming along? I've certainly given you plenty of material to draw inspiration from recently. I want to hear one by the end of the evening.
I just rolled a 5 on my deception check. Hang on.
I'm not buying that for a minute.
That's an 11. That's an 11. So Sherwood, it's so difficult to try and fit all of your great deeds into a simple song. The biggest problem is whittling down your action.
Song? Just one? I don't know what the word for many is, but many songs. How many more beasts must I slay for you to have enough material?
It is a continuous song of 13 pages, my lord.
Truly an epic saga. I can't wait to hear it. Okay, with that, Sir Sherwood will kind of spin around with a swoosh of the cape, stride, because he doesn't walk, he strides out of the cabin and say, "Who's steering this pile of junk?"
And you look up and you see the helmsman kind of tentatively like raise a hand, like.
You, sir! Set sail for Singer. Where is it? I'll look back over my shoulder.
Yeah, Rufus is like, we'll be set sailing for... Actually, we need to turn back a couple of pages as well.
I don't know why I keep you round. Where are the answers when I want them?
We'll be set sailing to the North Sea of Hyle.
What he said. Set
Yeah.
sail for there.
After we have, of course, resupplied and stocked the ship, my lord. And, and waited for the men gathering resources to return.
Okay, so the show that this will kind of like stride to the edge of the boat and look towards land to see what the hold-up is. Have we got people on like the island like foraging?
Yeah.
How far away is it? Could they hear my voice?
No.
They could hear your thunder, but maybe not your voice.
Okay, well, I'll turn back round like a look of disgust. Damn them!
Rufus would like to talk with Mr. Tinkerhand and ask if there are any sort of good ports of call to make along the way, as it seems like quite a... what's the distance there, Ryan?
A couple of weeks.
Yeah, so we could probably stock up for that long, but is there any opportune ports to stop in at least on the way?
Realistically, if you take the faster route, which would basically lead you right back to where you came from, so you'd be able to, again, for example, find your Smuggler's Cove, head into Fox's Heath again, would be the easiest. Or there are a couple of small cities a little further along the coast.
Okay, cool.
Damn you, man! Get your head out your loins. We've got a mission. We're not stopping off en route for you to satisfy your carnal needs. If anyone wants me, I'll be in the cabin praying. Dash, Jimmy, help me out my armor. And he's like, you see him walk back in, he's like looking for his whip. So it's like, we've got a few weeks of prayers.
Rufus takes in the scene and just like carefully rolls up the map and says, maybe it would be best to reconvene in other quarters.
Very nice.
Yeah, if you see Sherwood starting to like unbuckle his armor and looking at the whip, so yeah, it's probably a good idea if you go out somewhere else. It's a sunny day. Is it sunny, Ryan?
Sure.
Yeah, you can get a tan. You can do it on the deck.
Cool. So yeah, we get the fuck out of Dodge.
Some hardcore praying about to go down.
Yeah. Very nice. So a few hours later, the guys return with the boats off shore, and they managed to get probably about like a week's worth of rations out of this quick time. And then the helmsman kind of turns to Captain Jack over here, and says to Rufus, "Well, we've got enough for the first leg of the journey, sir. Shall we recover here, Captain, or should we set sail immediately?"
Rufus wants to know how long it would take them to gather another week's worth of supplies.
Well, it's moving on in the day at this point, so it would probably like till the next day. If you gave them a few hours in the morning, they could do it.
Okay, let's bed down here tonight. We've been given a pass by the mages of safety until we're ready to move on. I think we probably all need to heal up and rest.
Oh yes.
And before he goes, when he's just like, Rufus grabs him by the shoulder and like pulls him up close. But first, you should deliver that message to Sir Sherwood. And turns and walks away.
Me, sir?
Yes, carry on, boy, carry on.
Deliver? Hi, Captain.
I believe in you, son. You've got what it takes to move up around here, if you know what I mean.
Nice. So you're gonna give him an inspiration
I'm
dice?
gonna give him an inspiration dice. I don't actually have any left, but I'll give him one.
Nice. You're gonna need it, so.
Well, if anyone approaches the captain's cabin, all they'll hear is like whoosh, and then.
You can hear that here in the
Captain walks up
background.
to the door. He's
You
about
might
to knock.
want to deliver it later.
Yeah, he's about to knock, and he's kind of like, I think I'll leave a note.
Slide it under the door.
Yeah, it slides into the door.
That's probably best.
Jimmy and Dash look like they were going to stop him anyway, so.
Yeah, okay. They're kind of loitering outside the door, mate. They know what I don't like to be interrupted doing my self-reflection time. Can't be disturbed.
Is that what we're calling it these days?
Yeah. Self-reflection. I'm exercising the demons.
Indeed.
So yeah, if anyone needs me,
Awesome.
I'll go off mute until later.
Nice. So, you guys make the night without any issues or difficulties. It's a very serene, kind of quiet island. No natives of any sort. The animals are mostly seem to be like prey and stock style. The fruit and vegetables that are growing wildly are almost like a semi-wild, but it seems like they're cultivated at the same time. And you're able to fill up in the morning with another full week's worth of rations, as long as everything doesn't spoil and whatnot. You should be fine to make a good couple of week journey.
Cool.
Nice.
Anything else before you set underway?
No.
No, I think we're good to go, yeah.
All good.
Excellent. All right. If you guys are cool, just because it does seem to be kind of a natural spot as opposed to kind of a cliffhanging ending. Sorry, words, tough, difficult speaking. Maybe we'll.
Yeah, if we've got everything, the ship's provisioned, we've got a long sail ahead of us. Let's just leave it there.
Yeah, we'll let the sail go by in real time.
Yeah, cool.
2 weeks later, yeah.
Yeah, suddenly you'll be there. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Then we'll call this the end of episode 13, Empire Under Siege. Great job from everybody. Some good fun, some good role play, and general shenanigans by all. Well done. Anybody watching? We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Cool. Cheers, Ryan.
Thank you.